All right, hello everyone, and welcome to a 2v2 matchup. This is a matchup between crowjam and enDsKiLLeR versus MartialSpirit and SuperPig. enDsKiLLeR spawning as the purple night elf off over here at what I'll call the 4 o'clock position. crowjam spawning as the purple human, speed building his Altar of Kings. We'll go ahead and revisit that back in just a little bit. Meanwhile, we are looking at MartialSpirit playing under the name Jiangling as the yellow human. And then finally, we have SuperPig spawning as the yellow night elf. So even though this is a 2v2 matchup, this is a mirror match, human night elf versus human night elf here on Phantom Grove from the W3 Championship Series. crowjam is crowjam. So let's go ahead and break things down here. We are looking at, well, a speed built Altar of Kings into a Blood Mage first. All right, rushing into a Blood Mage, not something you see very often at all. Actually, I think this is the first time I've seen a Blood Mage actually being sped built off of an Altar of Kings. We'll see what comes of that. Normally it is an Archmage to try and gain, if it is sped built, an Archmage to try and gain a little bit of an experience advantage, something that happened quite often on Twisted Meadows back when that was still part of the map pool. Anyways, coming back around here, it is Demon Hunter. So Denial is the name of the game between crowjam and enDsKiLLeR. They're both going to be trying to deny mana from their opponent, either by burning it away or sucking it out of them. Coming back around, we are looking at MartialSpirit opening up with an Archmage in typical Archmage, and a typical Keeper of the Grove. So traditionalist, a new meta versus traditionalist, I assume, as that Ancient of War actually taking quite a bit of damage. The burning archers deal quite a bit of damage here, and you can see the Ancient of War actually pretty much suffering for it quite a bit. Double Wisp being brought over to try and repair those archers do deal pretty significant damage overall, as we're looking at the Ancient of War down to nearly 200 hit points. Will he be able to survive? That damage is still adding up, and even with 3 Wisp coming over to try and repair and the natural eating, it is still, well, falling in terms of hit points. It looks as though the first burning archer will end up getting taken down finally, and that should be enough to offset it, as the Demon Hunter picks up a Talisman of Evasion, just a beautiful trinket that he will sell at the his very first opportunity. Back off to the north here, Archmage is looking to clear out of this creep camp here, dropping a second Water Elemental, the Giant Frost Wolf. Even though it looks like a relatively easy creep camp, the critical strike damage really does add up quite a bit here, making this expansion a little bit more difficult to clear out. So it's only a 4-2-2 creep camp, but still took quite a bit of experience there, as we see a Flame Strike go down on the Tree of Life. All right, so Flame Strike on the Tree of Life, trying to shut down the expansions here. This is not what I was expecting at all, as the Tree of Life is already down to 70 hit points. Are we going to see another Flame Strike here? And that is going to be the question. Does he even need it? You're going to go ahead and force that cancellation once more. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter sitting at level 2 does have that Talisman of Evasion. I'm pretty sure he already has Evasion as well, as the Demon Hunter picks up Claws of Attack +5. All right, interesting strategies straight out of the gate. Not something that I would expect to see. Staff of Teleportation now on the Blood Mage. Blood Mage was pretty much just here to try and do a bit of disruption. Water Elemental down here as well. And where is this Footman going to try and run off to? It doesn't look like it will be able to make its way back out very easily at all. Demon Hunter coupled with the Blood Mage. Blood Mage, well, not getting the final shot as he got caught up behind those archers. All right, they're going to do a little bit of sharing to try and make sure that they cover each other well. Meanwhile, Wisp gonna head on over, gets aggroed, and gets taken down by the creeps. Ice Troll, last remaining unit, gonna get finished off here. Perhaps a Wisp will try and train up a Tree of Life in just a moment and set up an expansion. Meanwhile, Tree of Life already being placed down by SuperPig, and he should be able to get that up and running momentarily. Double arrows, double burning arrows dealing quite a bit of damage here, and this is actually a very typical army in 2v2 right now. footmen in the front line, archers in the back. They are all working very well together, and we may see a push coming in from MartialSpirit and SuperPig once that Archmage gets up to level 3. And it may also come down to how many players have defend on their foot, or who has defend on their footmen, and who is still able to micro those footmen when they are moving around so slowly. Blood Mage actually trapped in the back corner here. Is he going to be able to do anything much? Gets a Flame Strike off. There's an Entangle. Not going to be in time. Scroll of Town Portal now in order for a tactical retreat, as we are looking at the Blood Mage able to retreat back with all of those footmen. All right, Blood Mage now already back at home. Dual Arcane Sanctums, bringing in a handful of Priest as well. He does not have the way to buy a new Scroll of Town Portal, even though he is already at Tier 2. All right, so that fast Altar of Kings into Footman was for a fast tech to Tier 2, and then ultimately be able to get Arcane Sanctums down and in play early, and then perhaps forego that Arcane Vault for until a little bit later. Giant Skeleton Warrior easily taking out. Cloak of Shadows dropped. Skeleton Archers will get finished off. These are the green easy creep camps that should have been, well, taken in earlier. All right. So far, SuperPig and MartialSpirit apparently not on the same page at all. There is a lot of like this map actually would be more Twisted Meadows than actual Twisted Meadows. There's so many narrow corridors walking around as opposed to big wide open spaces. But then again, Twisted Meadows must actually be a bit of an oxymoron, right? You can't a meadow is just like an opening right in a forest, so I guess it's supposed to have more openings. Anyways, enDsKiLLeR gonna end up losing this Tree of Life before it even really gets up and going, as MartialSpirit and SuperPig take a big economic blow by taking down and shutting down that expansion. Expansion off to the north also, however, suffering a bit as well, as both sides doing a bit of play here. We are looking at a Blood Mage out here onto the battlefield. A Blood Mage as the second hero for the human player, MartialSpirit, siphoning mana away from that burning archer and taking away precious mana. Always a good thing, as it will just be funneled back into that Archmage here in just a moment. All right, finishing off some more units. Gauntlets of Overstrength +3 picked up by the Archmage, who now has over 700 or has 775 hit points for a level 3 Archmage, able to absorb much more damage than previously thought. All right, level 3 on the Blood Mage of crowjam here. There's a Flame Strike. Units are going to try and back away. Little bit of traffic across the board. Mana burn, siphon mana as the Keeper of the Grove being forced to retreat back here. All right, are we going to see the expansion once more be pressured again? So difficult to actually keep track of where all the action is on these maps here, as the Archmage attempts to clear down an orange creep camp here with an Ice Troll Warlord. Footmen do have defend, able to reflect back a little bit of that damage and fight back against this Ice Troll Warlord, dealing upwards of 47 damage. All right, coming back across here. It looks as though the Tree of Life is finally done, and we are going to be entangling this gold mine. Entangled gold mine is now done. How long can this expansion stay up and running for SuperPig? Coming back around, Demon Hunter finishing off an Archer easily. A couple of Treants could get finished off. Where is the rest of the units? We are looking at MartialSpirit actually just taking his time, clearing out some additional creep camps instead. Scroll of Town Portal now trying to come in for the defend, but not actually moving into the expansion location. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult spot, as a Flame Strike going to take down many of those Wisps. One Wisp survives, and that is it. Repairing a Tree of Life, a very, very dangerous proposition, with a level 3 Blood Mage nearby. That Flame Strike pretty much taking down all of those units in an instant. Scroll of Healing to try and counteract that Flame Strike there, but a little bit of that damage is still coming on strong, as the Keeper of the Grove now looking to back away. All right, there goes the main building here. Army is trying to fight back and forth. MartialSpirit perhaps not diving and not Scroll of Town Portaling into the expansion could have been a bit of an issue. But now the Priestess of the Moon and Dryads are all getting taken down. And was it worth the save? 38 supply, 44 supply, going up against 45 supply. and 35 supply here. Expansion for crowjam is operational off in the southern side here, 1170. Yeah, so that's been operational for about a minute and I believe a minute and a half, or a little bit more. Yeah, about a minute and a half overall, as Flame Strike going to be coming in here. And, well, finishing off the remainder of this creep camp. Blood Mage should be able to get to level 3 here, as long as there's no other heroes nearby. Yep, getting up to level 3 easily, and also picking up a Book of the Dead. This has definitely been a back and forth game overall. enDsKiLLeR now with Druids of the Claw, Mastery trained bears, for some additional healing and some additional damage in that front line spot. Dire Frostbolt, there goes a Flame Strike. And, well, level 3 Flame Strike burninating the ground here and shutting things down rather nicely. Footman with the Fen able to reflect back the damage from those Ice Troll Berserkers. Even if they are berserked, well, damage is greatly reduced. Blood Mage picks up a Wand of the Wind, and now also going to be able to pick up a second replenishment potion. Replenishment potion on a Blood Mage just to get a little bit of additional mana, it appears, as we're still looking at both sides just creeping out all of the corners of the map. All right. enDsKiLLeR able to catch his opponent off guard here for just a split second. Priestess of the Moon has True Shot Aura. I believe could have Owl Scouts or Searing Arrows. I haven't seen either, really. Meanwhile, we are looking at enDsKiLLeR trying to set up this expansion for an additional time. Greater Voidwalker creep camp going to get cleared up here. We are looking at, well, Footman getting slowed up by all of that frost armor. So it is going to be Priest and Spellbreakers to try and make up for some of that difference. Blood Mage going to pick up a Belt of Giant Strength and also a Tome of Intelligence, now upwards of 850 hit points as well. Only 2 major creep camps now left pretty much in the center portion of the map. Those, you definitely do not want to be creep jacked in those locations. Also 2 orange creep camps off to the side here. And these narrow passageways still causing quite a bit of problems, as crowjam's army is actually walking in a bit of a single file line and could have been intercepted easily. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Demon Hunter getting caught in open field here, getting entangled. There's a Mana Burn as the Keeper of the Grove retreats all the way back. Demon Hunter is in a little bit of a dangerous spot. Staff of Preservation for the save. Demon Hunter could get entangled, could get into some problems. There's a level 4 Demon Hunter using the Scroll of Town Portal just in time. Now Archer's trying to retreat back as well. And, well, there's that tactical retreat once more. They're retreating all the way back. Meanwhile, a human army trying to catch some of those units in transit as well, unable to stop that Spellbreaker, as the expansion now going to be having a little bit of problem. Flame Strike trying to back away, and here we are, unable to repair the Tree of Life, as the Flame Strike would have destroyed all of those wisps in an instant. Now, in comes the Flame Strike there. Flame Strike, Wisp, all taken down. Scroll of Town Portal retreating. crowjam, with just the Blood Mage and Spellbreakers able to constantly and consistently shut down this forward expansion of SuperPig. It is now 2 expansions to 1. A bit of a problem. MartialSpirit still mining away in the backfield here, but a definite advantage for crowjam and enDsKiLLeR so far. Meanwhile, we're looking at purple trying to take out the infernal creep camp here. This is a potential creep jack that could go sideways, as the Demon Hunter trying to absorb all of this here. Fork Lightning Bear going to get taken down. How much is this going to cost? Dryad getting taken down as well. Jango Endurance Or going to go ahead and pick it up, and Scroll of Town Portal to get away, but that Entangled not going to be enough to finish off that unit here at all. Dryad even walked all the way over, had a little bit of problems. Ice Troll Berserker going to get finished off, as we see the other Infernal going to end up being taken out by crowjam. Beautifully done. Buying a little bit of time, staying just to take out the Infernal. If he can finish off this Infernal here, it would be a great victory. But instead, the creep jack's going to come back the other way. Footman going to try and engage here. Footman, perhaps with the Fen, going to try to slow down a little bit of traffic once more. Is it going to be enough? Blood Mage coming back. There's a Flame Strike. All of those Footmen are going to pretty much get burned up, and so much damage there. Hero Medallion now, a Medallion of Courage now picked up there. Strength and Intelligence, exactly what the Doctor ordered, as the units are now trying to retreat back. Another Flame Strike could go down across all of these units, as we're finally going to see, well, the Demon Hunter come in from the other side. Siphon Mana coming back the other way here as well. Both sides continuing this battle. Blood Mage going to be in a little bit of problems. Going to be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal in order to stay alive. But that may actually separate him from enDsKiLLeR just a bit too much as he dives on in, not knowing that the Blood Mage of his partner was low on hit points and had to retreat. Demon Hunter now going to be in trouble. Down to 204 hit points. He uses the Scroll of Town Portal. More Scroll of Town. More Flame Strike and Blizzard causing a bit of traffic. Wow. Long drawn out battles on both sides. A new expansion trying to be placed down by SuperPig once more. Solo level 5 Blood Mage. With upgrade to Castle, the experience should be significantly higher on this Blood Mage, since or could get significantly higher, and getting to level 6 would be very easy once it gets that 30% experience bonus for only having one hero at tier 3. All right. Units are trying to make their way over here. This is a pretty narrow corridors, meaning AoE damage could rack up very fast if you are just not careful. Archers, more units trying to engage here, traveling through the fire and flames there. Keeper of the Grove going to try to run on by. There's a Blizzard Flame Strike coming down as the Spellbreakers trying to perhaps call in some of those units instead. Slow Flame Strike still getting cast down. All of those casters right there. Scroll of Healing to try and counteract. Does get the Scroll of Healing to counteract and not lose, and all of those casters right there, as the Blood Mage may need to launch another Flame Strike separately. All right, more damage coming on through. Mortar teams off to the side. There's a Flame Strike. Units are trying to retreat back. Another, I believe that was a Potion of Healing used there instead, as the units are trying to fall back once more. Demon Hunter unable to mana burn as he is now out of mana. And the lines are just all over the place here as this massive battle spanning about 2.5, 3 screens, as both sides are still trying to get it all together. Demon Hunter, Potion of Invulnerability could be coming to an end here. More sides, more damage, and as the Archmage trying to retreat back. Demon Hunter is going to be able to get off a mana burn or a bit of damage over time. More Flame Strike still coming down. Mountain Giants able to absorb that and pass through that without much of a problem. But many of Purple's units are being forced to stand back as they are simply unable to chase too easily. Meanwhile, so many Mountain Giants out here on the battlefield by SuperPig, able to absorb a lot of that damage and get Staff to Preservation at the last moment. There's a Flame Strike right there. Unit's going to try and retreat back out. There goes the Blood Mage trying to retreat. Spellbreakers able to stand in the fire without much of a problem, as we are going to be finally seeing some bears getting taken out and Spellbreakers taken down as well. All right, level 5 onto the Keeper of the Grove. Level 4, Demon Hunter resurrected from an Ankh of Reincarnation, as the Demon Hunter unable to finish off the Keeper of the Grove. Low hit point bear only needs to get sneezed on. Finally taken down. There goes, I believe, the Keeper... the Priestess of the Moon sitting at level 3. More damage getting added in as the Book of Dead was used as well. All right. Monstrous battle back and forth. 65, 69 supply compared to 51 and 58. MartialSpirit and SuperPig seemingly being able to handle constantly losing their expansion but rebuilding it and having a bit of an advantage still. Nearly 70 supply going up against 50 supply and 59. Now remember, well, finally going into low upkeep, crowjam. I'm going to be losing a little bit of experience here, but is this expansion just going to get taken down for the 3rd, 4th, or 5th time this game? That is the question. Where are they going to land? There's a Flame Strike Wisp trying to back away. Repairs are going to be in order, but not going to be able to do very much. Well, Blizzard now raining down Flame Strike, and only the Blood Mage is really going to be suffering right here. Siphon mana away as the Blood Mage now tries to go for a tactical retreat again. Knights getting taken out, a little bit of units being whisked away once more, and all of the wisps that were here were, well, either frozen or burned to death. All right. We are now looking at the Dryads doing a little bit of slow poison across all of those bears. Cold arrows as well, making this retreat a bit difficult, as enDsKiLLeR being forced to fall back once more. Expo upper right. All right. Oh, this expansion off over here. All right, so another expansion being brought in by enDsKiLLeR, but this is easily going to be destroyed once more. It was able to get about 1,000 gold before it ends up getting destroyed. A couple of Wisp all being left behind here. Perhaps you're going to see Blizzard, Wisp detonations, just a quick detonation to remove all that instead. Greater Voidwalker will get taken out as well. Yeah, that was a little bit of a hidden expansion on the top right-hand side of the map, and I think if this creep camp was actually cleared out, then it would not have been discovered at all, as there's no reason to head into that particular neck of the woods. All right, with all the expansions on the map, there are still plenty of locations for additional expansions to be placed down. 4 of them, in fact, if the game does go that long. Knights getting ready to engage. Inner Fire quickly being dispelled here. Dryads trying to go after some of these units, constantly being dispelled here. Treants are not going to try and engage here. And in comes the Siphon Mana Blizzard Flame Strike AoE. So much damage across the board here as the bears don't even stand a chance getting stuck in the fire and flames. Mortar teams lobbing in attacks should really be trying to go after that backline location. But the backline, well, because it is backline so difficult to get to, these priests and sorceresses are still fairly well protected. Meanwhile, Dryads still trying to engage here. Mountain Giants trying to taunt as much damage as well. Flame Strike coming on through AoE damage across the board, but many of those units low. Well, I believe that was a bit of denial right there. Friendly Fire getting finished things off as we're looking at Staff of Preservation saving that Naga Sea Witch. More Siphon Mana. Keeper of the Grove going to be out of mana here. More Flame Strike. A Blizzard in the center. Can't really tell whose is whose, as Purple is taking so much damage right there, and now, well, constantly trying to retreat back out as well. Dry is trying to push back the other way. I can't even count the number of Flame Strikes as crowjam now gets to level 6 on his Blood Mage and gets a Phoenix. Phoenix is going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage to all of those. Well, nope, not going to be able to do that much damage at all. The Fly Machine's able to quickly finish it off, and the Egg quickly taken down. Quickly highly prioritizing that target. The Phoenix could have easily been taking down mortar teams and their heavy armor. Keeper of the Grove now looking to try and back away. Blood Mage going to be quite a bit of time, needs quite a bit of mana to do anything else, and there's no mana to really siphon from anyone except for maybe that Naga Sea Witch, but he doesn't really want to stand still. Priestess of the Moon down to, or up to level 4 now, as he levels up. Archmage of MartialSpirit ends up getting taken down. Another Flame Strike goes down. One Druid of the Claw in Druid form gets taken down as well, as things are just going sideways every which way. Demon Hunter, here is a death cry right there, and falls at level 5. And this battle is still raging on. So much happening here. So many low hit point heroes as we're looking at, oh, one more auto attack. No, down to 3 hit points. That last bit of armor enough to keep that Blood Mage alive as he retreats back home with 3 hit points. Demon Hunter now back out here onto the battlefield. There's a rejuvenation there. Mortar teams could try and finish some things off. We're going to see a little bit more engagement. Druid of the Claw is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Going to perhaps be taken out by all of these priests and all of this magic damage here. No Staff of Preservation for the save. Are we going to see a rejuvenation? It does get a rejuvenation at the last possible moment, and now, well, sitting at 120 hit points and climbing. Demon Hunter coming back around, does have an invul potion as well. And now the new expansion has been established here. It looks as though perhaps the human player was thinking that he could take this expansion, not realizing that SuperPig had already had a Tree of Life set up. All right, new expansion already up by crowjam here at what I'll call the 8 o'clock position. So the only expansion locations left are in the center portion of the map. And, well, enDsKiLLeR has moved his Tree of Eternity from his starting location already into this position. I'm actually a bit surprised he didn't try and eat through these trees a little bit more and then try and entangle this gold mine under the cover of the protection of the trees to be able to survive a bit longer. Now we're looking at the units continuing to engage here in just a moment. This upcoming fight, this Tree of Eternity, is not going to be long for this world, not with a level 5 Blood Mage and level 5 Archmage, both trained in AoE damage, and mortar teams quickly to support. Are we going to see some Treants make their way over? Thank you for the follow. As we're looking at the Mountain Giants getting into the proper position, enDsKiLLeR going to have a little bit of difficulty. There's a well, Flame Strike and Blizzard to try and stop any of that, any of the repairs, and that, well, Tree of Eternity does fall. level 6 Blood Mage, level 5 Demon Hunter of enDsKiLLeR, Inner Fire being cast across all of these units. There is one expansion mining here, one expansion mining here. That is it. Center expansions not easily taken at all whatsoever. 60 supply. Well. Alright, there goes a Spellbreaker. Both sides getting ready to fight here. Flying Machines getting ready to launch. There's Flame Strike. There's Blizzard across that center line right there. The Knights normally having so many hit points getting absolutely beaten and burnt and frozen all together at the same time as the Phoenix tries to engage, only to see a squadron of Flying Machines ready to fight here. Phoenix X purposely backs away and says, you know what, Flying Machines, you may shoot me out of the sky, but you can't shut me down, as I will just rehatch since you have no way to attack me. Anti-Magic Shell on the Keeper of the Grove. He was able to cast Tranquility, keep the army alive, up and running for SuperPig as well, and his partner here, MartialSpirit, as both sides are fighting their way through. Two bears getting taken down as the Phoenix Egg is, well, shot back down again. The Flying Machines are just there constantly ready to try and take it out. All right, Blood Mage continuing that battle here. Phoenix are going to go ahead and hatch back up once more, perhaps get some damage, only to see the squadron of units again as the Phoenix tries to back away. Level 4 Priestess of the Moon falls in this battle as another Phoenix is now out here onto the battlefield. Both sides fighting their way through as the Blood Mage trying to siphon mana from a Blood Mage here. Both sides still getting in damage. Phoenix now trying to make their way the Phoenix Egg. Nope, Phoenix Egg has not hatched yet. Gonna hatch up here in just a moment, and here are two Phoenixes getting ready to engage against each other. Flying Machine coming in from the flank from the far side. However, the Dryads should be able to offer a little bit of support. Phoenix able to get in some magic damage, add in more damage still, as we see a Tranquility now being cast again. How quick is that ultimate ability to keep all of these units alive and well? You can see how many hit points that Mountain Giant is just regenerating as they're pushing on through, and that should be the GG right here. A massive battle constantly going back and forth, but in the end, MartialSpirit and SuperPig looks as though they're going to come away with the victory, even though they were forced to rebuild that expansion more than one time. A beautiful game played here. There goes that Blood Mage, and that is going to be the game. GG coming in from crowjam, MartialSpirit, and SuperPig with the victory in the end. Let me know what you guys think about this 2v2 matchup in the comments below. And until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys see me again.